Hey, welcome back to 2021, or welcome to 2021. Welcome back to school. Yeah, I think I got that right. So this is my second take because it turns out when I get too close to the mic, it sounds like I'm dying of shortage of breath, which, yeah. Anywho, so let's hop right into where we left off. So we're done with Unit 2. Unit 2 was all about government. It was about how the United States functions. It was about what works and what doesn't work. For example, the Articles of Confederation, did it work? I think resoundingly we can say no. Does the Constitution work? Yeah. Historically, we can say so far it works. Is it perfect? No. Do we have abilities to change it? Yes. Do people change it? Yeah, 27 times so far, right? Hence the amendments. So today, we are stepping out of Unit 2 and stepping into Unit 3. But at the same time, Unit 3 kind of picks up where we left off in Unit 2. Make sense? Yeah, it's kind of weird like that. Unit 3 is all about westward expansion. It's about the United States saying, okay, we've got our country. Okay. We have our country. We have our government. We think we know what we're doing. Now we need to expand. We need to go west. This is where you find your historical inaccuracies of how the West was won. All right. This is your Wyatt Earp, Dodge City, OK Corral, shootouts, so on and such. That's part of it. Part of it's an industrial revolution. Part of it is treating the Native Americans like garbage and making them march from Georgia to Oklahoma because we wanted their land. There's like bits and pieces that are not the best parts of westward expansion, but historically, that's what happened. Today, we're focusing on what's referred to as landmark cases. All right. In landmark cases, these are court cases that are settled by the Supreme Court. These are the cases that change the identity of how law works in the United States. So an example of that would be Roe versus Wade. Now that's a time period that we're not going to cover in this class, but for all intents and purposes of examples, it's a landmark case. The Supreme Court rules in Roe versus Wade that, yeah, women have the right to make a choice on whether or not they terminate a pregnancy. All right. Now, this class is not the place for the debate on whether or not that's ethical or moral. This is political science. We look at law. When Roe versus Wade takes place, it changes really the societal framework of the United States and what's believed to be okay and not okay by the majority. The Supreme Court rules in favor, saying, yes, women have the right to choose. It becomes such a big deal that we know it today, which means it's a landmark case because it has such a big impact in our day-to-day lives. The three cases we're looking at today in this class are also landmark cases. They impact us to this very day, even though these cases were from the early 1800s. So there are three of them that we're really going to focus on. Marbury versus Madison, Mcculloch versus Maryland, and Gibbons versus Ogden. All right, this is in the court area, so like this is one of my favorite places to play. So Marbury versus Madison is all about judicial review. No, I'm not defining that for you because in the research tab, you've got all the information you need on it. But it is about judicial review. You should be able to define what judicial review is by the time we finish here. The second one, Mcculloch versus Maryland, focuses on federalism. I cannot express this to you enough. As people inside the United States, it is essential for you to understand what federalism is and why we have it. All right. And then finally, Gibbons versus Ogden focuses on interstate commerce. Now, I'll give you a little bit of a tip here. Interstate commerce is the relationship of transporting goods and businesses between states. That should help you a little bit. So not between other countries. It's not like from the US to England. It'd be from like New York to Vermont. All right. Or something along those lines. It stays within the states of the United States. So those are the three main targets that you're looking for. You should be able to explain all three of those: judicial review, federalism, interstate commerce. You should also be able to explain the impact and the decision of each one of those cases. Marbury versus Madison, Mcculloch versus Maryland, Gibbons versus Ogden. All right. You should be able to do all of that. There are videos in the research tab that break all those down. I'm choosing not to use this video to do all that when someone's frankly already done it and they did a decent job with it. I'm just here to answer questions and to assist you. So here's what your end product is going to be when you go down into the task section of this module. Your task is to take these cases and put them into words that we would understand in 2020. Yeah. And you can either speak about it, write about it, or design something about it. All right. Now, someone's going to ask, well, what does that mean? That's the whole point. It's your interpretation. All right. Do whatever you need to do to show me that you know the content. I'm not looking for an essay paper. If you do that, cool, rock on. I'm not looking for a 10-minute speech. If you do that, I mean, cool, rock on. I'm not looking for an art project, but if you do that, yeah, cool, rock on. Do what you need to do to get the information across to me. It should be created in a way to where you understand it and I understand it, and that's the essential piece. What that looks like is up to you. By now, in second going into third quarter, you know what the expectations are for this class. Okay? So hop off this video, go into the research tab, go find those 3 videos. They're all short, like 4 minutes a piece, about these 3 cases. I would highly suggest you take some notes for each one of these cases. Otherwise, you're going to go back to those videos several different times. Okay? All right. Whew. Let's start 2021 on a good note. Let's hop right back into it. If you can master this, you can master anything. Okay? Good luck.